Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. That's not much better, is it? Trying to figure out the lighting in here. don't think I've said a word yet. And we're 7 minutes into this live series here. I could barely utter that sentence. What I was saying without speaking. A lot of people are getting tripped up with the settings on the Isomax. So really what you're looking for is the letter. See, can you see it? See the L there? That's what you're looking for. Okay. And then if the T is there, now we're in timer mode. Okay. So you're looking for L. L is load mode. Even though it's a habit. L is load mode. T is timer mode, right? So timer mode, right? How long will it beep as it's holding a contraction? You hold down on timer. I have it set at 5 seconds here. Okay. Now let's just try it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it doesn't account for the first, second. I see what everyone's saying now. I see what everyone is saying now. It doesn't beep for the first second, right? So you're going to get 4 beeps. Because 0 to 1 second, it doesn't beep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. But anyway, see, I'm even getting tripped up now on the Isomax settings. I love isometrics, but I don't want the measured isometrics to get in the way of the beauty of isometrics. So, but I do understand what everyone's saying there. They just got 4 beeps. Let's try it again. 4 beeps. Okay, I see. The last beep is 2 seconds. The last beep is 2 seconds. So that was 5 seconds there, right? Now the next question is going to be load. Let's take a look at that option. So as you can see the time, as you can see the T here, you see the T, you see it? Now we move our way to load, right? Okay, L. What's that mean though, right? Okay, interesting. So if we hit the down and up button, it's up to 20 pounds. Let's go down, right? Let's go down to 10 pounds. That's low as it'll go. So as long as it's registering 10 pounds, it'll beep. And as long as that L is in the screen there, in the corner of the screen, or wrong way. See L there? Okay. Let's see what we get. Okay, so it's going to beep as long as it's past 10 pounds of tension, right? But then if you only want it to beep for a certain amount of seconds, you have to get it back to the T. Okay, now it should beep when you hit 10 pounds, and it should beep for, what was it, 5 seconds? It should beep for 5 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, the last beep is 2 seconds. The last beep is 2 seconds. But see, I can see how you can get a little confused with that, though. You know what I mean? Sometimes the less options, the better, right? Sometimes the less options, the better. For example, my grandmother would benefit from using this Isomax. Would she be able to set it up? I don't think so. And she'd call me and I'd have to help her set it up, and then we'd repeat that process for 12 months. Okay, so back to less options, right? Less options. Here we go. Okay, less options. Less options. Okay. I think I got the full 260. I got the full 260 there. So what I'm trying to say is, tension is tension, right? Measured tension. There's levels to this, right? There's levels to this measured tension, right? That was measured tension right there. Did you see that? That was measured tension right there. There's levels, understand? This is level 1, the bull worker. You get what you get here, okay? You set this down. You set that down and you give it a whirl, okay? And you end up at 160, right? And you get that. You know what you're doing. And a lot of people in the world can do that. My grandmother could do that for sure. She could do that. Right? Then level 2. Level 2 of measured isometrics is the Isomax, where you press a button and you can get rocking and rolling. Okay? But if you want to get into the different settings here, potentially a little too difficult for some people. If you want to work with the load and the time and everything, maybe a little too advanced. Whereas just the bull worker, you go and it reads, right? There's a couple more options here, is what I mean, right? That's level 2. Level 3 is the Tindeck in terms of measured isometrics, in terms of the advancement, right? So now, we get another variable involved, and that's the phone, right? Okay, interesting. So now we have even more options. There's different workout options here. What I like to do is, if it focuses, sorry if I, okay, you see repeaters? That's the one I like to do. But now this is just another level. This is another level of measured isometrics. How advanced do you want to get? How far are we going to stray away from the bull worker, where the bull worker is plug and play and there's no variables, right? How far do we want to advance into technology? Let me answer some questions. Hey, buddy. Are you 100% isometrics now? Do you do consults? How much does it cost? I'm not 100% isometrics, but I'm damn close. I do consults. Yeah. How much do they cost? Let me check my website quick. $150 for a call. And we can do that over Zoom. And you can have your workout equipment available if necessary. And we can get you working with what you got, or get you set up with a list of things that you need to get the job done. You moved to 50% isometrics after watching my videos. Cool. Cool. How's it been? It's been really good. I just feel I need someone to run my routine and program with. Yes, I get it. I definitely can see where an isometrics coach would be of value to a lot of people because there's a lot you can do, right? So, yeah, I sent you my email. Just email me if you want to get on a call. I'm sure you've gotten a lot of information from my videos, but again, there's a lot that goes into it, especially specific to each individual. But I'm happy to hear it's been working for you. So, like you have a chiropractor, right? Hmm. You have a chiropractor. You can probably figure out how to crack your own back or do whatever. Like I don't know much about chiropractic, but that's something you see a professional for. I could see isometrics be something you see a professional for, just because there's so much you can do, and you need someone to sequence it for you. That's what I do a lot of the time with my clients. Is you're telling us you're going through a journey of through the full body in a 30-minute little window. And you gotta just sequence it and give them the best workout they possibly can. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. It's the end of the NFL games. There's some close games here, but you know, I can't see why anyone who is over 40 is doing regular resistance training. I love isometrics. It's fixed my elbow tendinitis. I hear you. I'm curious. I'm curious. Uh, what do you use for isometrics? I'm curious. That's cool. That being said, I'm one of the over 40 still doing resistance training. I hear you on that too. You got the Isomax. Wow. It's a lethal weapon, isn't it? You had it to the end of the regular stuff. That's the cool thing about isometrics. You can go before or after. Really fits well in both places. You had elbow tendinitis for 2 years, nothing fixed it. And after 6 months of using the Isomax, one day driving in, I realized my elbow was like 95% better. Dude, that's so interesting. Um, the elbows. The elbows are such an interesting thing and not talked about a lot. And tennis elbow can last, you said 2 years. It can definitely last 2 years, if not longer. Hmm. One of those really tricky injuries that can easily happen, but you fix it with isometrics. Yeah. I wonder why. What do you think? Why? I kind of have an idea why that is, why it fixed it. Curious to, it's your elbow though. I'm curious to see why you think it fixed it. My dad. My dad's the man. He's been figuring out how to send messages on Facebook, and so he's sending me reels on Facebook like every morning. It's hilarious. It's like he discovered this thing where he can share videos with me. Every guy I know over 40 has elbow, knee, or shoulder pain. Yeah, it's too bad, isn't it? It's really too bad. You wonder why, you know. You think the body would be more durable, you know, especially with the hinge joints. Cool, man. Yeah, thanks for talking and giving your input. And if you wanted to get on a phone call specific to you, email me. I left it up there in the messages. The 300 bar, the $300 bar fixed it. You fixed it. You know, that's what's so cool about Isometrics is your it's your tension, you know. It's your body responding to your own tension, if that makes sense. It's no external force. It's not a machine. It's not any barbells or weights or anything. It's your own resistance that's fixing your own body. It's your own medicine. You gotta figure what other benefits are there from it too. If it's so powerful to fix a pain like that, and like, you know, what else globally is it doing to the body? So yeah, I have I'm sitting on a gold mine. No, I think that. I think that. I believe that. I do realize it. In due time. I've watched Isometrics grow here in the last 3-4 years, you know, so I think it's only a matter of time. Like tomorrow let's go. I'll look at my list and hello, hello, hello. Am I back? Hello, 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 test. I think I'm back. What I was saying is the girl that I train and use isometrics with, she's a beast. She's a beast. Like girls, too, women, Women respond to isometrics crazy, unbelievable. Tone, developed muscle, and strength, like six strength. Has it increased your weight using dynamic exercise? Have you gotten stronger? Has it transferred? Is what I'm trying to say. I do a set of deadlifts and my knees are wrecked. Shit. Sucks. I do it isometrics and I feel strong. That's good that you don't overtrack though. You don't want to overtrack. Just yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. No, like I understand. I understand. It does help you sleep too, doesn't it? Yeah. Dude, sometimes I need a nap after an isometric session. And I have clients that are like, okay, I'm going home to take a nap. See ya. Thanks. I'm gonna go to sleep. Yeah. I'd be curious too. I'd be curious to see what it does to testosterone. Yeah. I do an isometric hold at least once each day now just to ensure I sleep good. Like I said, I wonder what it does to testosterone. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and I'm gonna say it helps. But I'd like to see more studies done there. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Okay, so tomorrow, what I do with the clients is I get them started on a bike for 3 minutes. And they don't go too hard here on the bike, but this is just to get the body rolling for me to kind of interview them to see if there's anything that we need to address, and then to go from there. Then I bring them over to the isometric rack that I have in the gym, and I do about a 10-minute full body isometric sequence, going back to that idea of sequencing, of putting the body in different positions to make sure you hit all the muscles. Then from there, I'll either continue on and finish with a full isometric set, or if I feel like we need to get the body moving and decompress in some areas, then I'll bring them into the other side where the machines are, and we'll do a push, pull, and a leg. One set. And then the killer is I put them on a stretch table. So we're like 23 minutes into the workout. I put them on a stretch table, and then I use straps to restrain. That's all isometrics is restraint. I use straps, and I put a strap around the bench and around one of their legs, and I'll have them do hip flexion, hip abduction, hip extension, You could really work some like hollow holds or any sort of yoga movement. That's another thing too. Any sort of yoga movement you can imagine can be made better with resistance, with an isometric, overcoming the isometric portion to it. So think about the bird dog or the dead bug or the plank. All of those can be just 10x, 20x, 30x by adding resistance. The Superman, the crunch, the pike, all of those different positions. You just add restraint to the legs or to the arms, and now you've made an isometric yoga exercise that'll be better than anything you do. Yeah, but going back to the Isomax. What a weapon, and it's heavy. This son of a gun is heavy. This is no joke. I looked at your ISOFIT thing too, but it doesn't seem like it can handle a lot of stress. That, my friend, is where we disagree. Respectfully. The ISOFIT has its flaws like any other tool, but handling a lot of stress isn't one of them, because the thing is also a beast. That might be my gripe with this in the ISOFIT in the Harambe system. I appreciate quality and durability, but dang, these are so over-engineered and overbuilt. I get like you want it to withstand 7 zillion, bajillion, 10,000 pounds. But at the same time, we need to move it around our house and stuff. And it's just Rogue, Rogue, over engineered. Just a great product, and I have a Rogue rack, and I love it. But just listen, it's cool. It's cool to say that your product can last like forever, but there needs to be a cutoff. Okay, there needs to be a cutoff here. Isomax is def over engineered, right? That's what I'm saying. My deadlift is at like 200 pounds. Cool. I like it. It's good. What level are you doing it at? Are you where's the number set to? On the strap. Maybe it's just easier to answer. Is it an above knee or below knee deadlift? Four. Good. Good, happy medium. It's a high deadlift. Yeah, I like it. Remember, the lower you go in the deadlift, the less safe it is, because you're increasing the angle of your hip. The fulcrum is your low back. So the high deadlift is good. Oh, a split squat or a Zercher squat? Do you do any Zercher squat or split squat? Tried your Zercher, but ran into issues. Don't get me wrong. I love the movement. Beautiful, but my hand went numb. Hmm. Yep. Every tool and every exercise has its flaw, doesn't it? Sweet. All right, so you went into the hack squat. You went from a hard exercise to a harder exercise, basically. Sounds like. I've been on here for 40 minutes. It's kind of a long time. I'm watching Red Zone, and it goes through and shows every single touchdown of the day. It's just, it's just a dopamine rush of touchdowns. Mentally, at my age, and intellectually, I can see no further point at all to do regular resistance training. Like, why am I even lifting weights when I can do it without tendinitis or any issues? But yet, still keep it to 50-50. Dude, I teach it, and I'm in the same boat. And that's the thing. I think the isometrics are so good that even at 50% of your full or your workload, it's hugely beneficial. Do you go to a gym for your resistance training? You know, this is my problem too. It's a good problem to have. So you go to the gym, maybe that's part of it too. Is just kind of fun to go to the gym and use the machines or whatever there. New Jersey. Okay. Okay. Shout out Jersey. I find myself when I'm working out in the gym, I just do isometric holds. Like I'll do a couple reps, and I'm like, why am I even just let me cut to the chase here and just get this in a 90-degree position, do an isometric hold. It's like I'm trying to get to failure. I'm waiting to get to failure. I'm like, let me just do an isometric hold. What am I wasting my time for? But yeah, going to the gym is fun. So, oh, dude, the leg press. Yeah, the leg press. The isometric leg press on a machine is deadly. I mean, I always say that all the isometric tools I use are the best, but like, man, it's hard to beat a leg press isometric. I have my clients do it. The same thing with my clients. I'm like, all right, let's do a couple reps. In the back of my head, I'm like, let's just hurry this thing up so we can get to the isometric hold. Let's just. No, dude, the sleep thing is real. The sleep thing is real. My clients have said it to me before. No, the sleep thing is real. Yeah. It's the central nervous system being activated during isometric holds. Your central nervous system is used during the isometric hold, and then when it's time to go to sleep, like you've already fatigued the central nervous system, and it's like, all right, let's just go to bed and recover. Yeah. I ask my clients, I'm like, how do you sleep at night? And all of them are just like, good. And I'm dealing with a demographic that does have trouble sleeping. So during my interview process with them during their bike, I'm like asking them different things, checking in. How do you sleep at night? I sleep good. Okay, moving on. Don't have to worry about that then, I guess. Cool, man. I'm glad it's working that well for you. Shout out New Jersey. VO2 max improved. Cool. Probably from them hack squats. That's the thing about it too, is it's incorporating breath work. He said that's 5 to 10% improvement. The overhead press. Wow. The overhead press is so brutal. You would think, I was just talking with a client the other day, you would think the isometric overhead press would be a place where you can kind of take it off and just, all right, this is not going to be too bad. And then immediately, like your triceps are burning immediately. And just holding your shoulders up, just holding in position is brutal, let alone like driving through it. Yeah. The overhead press is, yeah, do your abs ever get sore? I'm sure. Let me ask you this. Again, I kind of already know the answer to this, but has your core gotten stronger? It's crazy. Just crazy where YouTube can bring you. Or just like, eh. Yeah. Yeah, some Isomax holds, like resets the fascia, and release pockets of air and stuff like that. That's where you get those the cracking and the pops. Like resets everything. Yeah, I was getting really good ab work. I used to get really great ab work. So your posture has improved. Hmm. We don't talk enough about how sitting down could really kick your ass. Sitting down and sleeping, like rolling around in bed, for some people, is like warfare. You know, you gotta spin one side to the other every night. Or like people say, I'm getting low back pain. I've been sitting too long. It's like, well, I'll be damned if we can't sit. We get injured sitting and sleeping. You hear people say, I slept on it wrong. I slept on it wrong. It happens to me. It happens to everybody. It's like, I'll be damned. The two areas where I'm just trying to relax, like sitting down and sleeping, and I gotta have back spasms. You finally lay down and relax on the couch and you can't get up. Life is hard as it is. I think it's like giving me like a steel back. Yes, it really does make the back super strong. And I bet your back muscles are probably more defined now than they've ever been. Um, I think it's the nature of the Isomax. You're hinging at the hip a lot, and you're using the spine and the muscles to keep the spine upright in the isometric position, and you're battling against the bar too. Regular weightlifting looks really impressive, but practically, am I ever going to bench press 225 pounds? But isometrics is the opposite. It looks really like doing nothing, but gives you immense power. It really does look like doing nothing because you are doing nothing. Yet you're doing so much. Like, man, there's just so much that goes into each position while you're doing it. That's why sometimes a longer duration hold is beneficial because you could just take some time to set up in that specific position. And you know what? I don't know. You might be able to bench 225. You might be able to bench 225. Dude, I hope our chat comes through on the regular. Once this uploads to YouTube, I hope the chat can see your posts. This is all great information. Anecdote? Is this what this is called? No, this is more than anecdote. You're providing some data, some medical data too. Anecdote? Is this an anecdote? I don't know. Is this? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. But anyway, anecdotes are good, right? Plantar fasciitis. Oh, dude. You did nothing for the foot and it went away. Anecdata. This is anecdata. It really is. Yeah, I'm an anecdata kind of guy. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of anecdata. Trust me. Trust me. Yeah, you did nothing specific for the foot. Wow. Well, that's what I mean with the 220 bench and 225. Like, sometimes when I have clients that want to bench press and we want to get that number up, I just don't bench press with them. Do no direct bench pressing work. Just do isometric holds and then randomly throw a bench press into their workout and they go up in weight. So it's an indirect, transferable results. I've been in stats for a long time, my friend. I can tell you literally most science is anecdata, just pretend to be more than that. Shit. This channel is anecdata, man. I get it. I mean, I appreciate you thinking that the channel should blow up, but the right people find me, you know. But shit, I'll take 30,000 followers, subscribers, or whatever. Yeah, but I usually find the right people. Even in my day-to-day workouts, I got a good group of people. I'm just trying to be AI to the punch. Because once AI gets a hold of isometrics, now we're in real trouble. So I'm trying to beat them there. You're in stats. Wow. See what I'm saying? If it wasn't for isometrics, I can't tell you the amount of people I met because of isometrics. That's so weird. 15 years ago, I'd be like, this isn't even this isn't even a thing. 15 years ago for me, this is not even a thing. But okay, stats. So yeah, I like numbers. But guess what? You don't have to be a stats guy. You just need to know a stats guy. Is basically how I live my life. I don't need to be okay. One thing I am is an isometrics guy. That's fine. But like anywhere else, I got guys for that. My clients, I benefit from them as much as they benefit from me. I've met some really interesting people. It's crazy. And I can only imagine where it goes from here. But yeah, stats. It's good to have a stats guy. I appreciate you coming by and chopping it up. Wow. Come back in. Like I said, I hope the chat can see your feedback. I'm thinking I can make that happen somehow. So I appreciate you just hanging out with me and the other person that's in here. There's 2 people in here. So thanks for joining the ride here on a Sunday night. Tomorrow's Monday, new week. I'm really big about I'm really big about just winning. I'm really big about just trying to win, winning the week and winning the day and winning, just waking up and just getting after it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to do tomorrow, and I hope that's what you're going to do, and I appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon. Over and out.